Did you know that 88% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy? That 1 out of every 2, so 50%, are obese. And for our children, it's 1 in 5, that's 20%, are obese. And all of this is absolutely preventable. Would you like to know how you and your children can be healthier than 99% of people? This is the right video for you. It starts with a very simple concept, but most people are not going to follow through with this very simple concept because there are barriers and hurdles in the way. But if you actually see those barriers and hurdles, if you can identify them, it is so easy to accomplish this. So first, the concept. You will commit to doing whatever it takes to be healthy. I know. I said it was simple. Almost ridiculously too simple for that to be the answer. But we got those hurdles, right? We have those barriers that we need to get through. So let's talk about the hurdles and barriers. See, most people will tell you that they want to be healthy, but then their actions don't fall in line with what they're telling you that they want. And it's because of these 5 barriers, these hurdles that we need to get past. The first one is that you don't actually know what it takes to be healthy. And I don't say that meaning that you don't understand that we need to exercise, and that I'm not saying that you don't understand that we need to eat healthy food. The problem is that you don't know what healthy foods you should be eating because there's so much contradictory information out there. And I feel like most people believe they need to have a medical degree to even understand what foods are healthy, what foods are not healthy. Why should I want to know how the food I'm eating impacts my body, but I'm not a doctor. So that's problem number A of problem number 1. The other thing is that because I don't know what diet to choose, and some diets contradict. For example, vegetarian contradicts with carnivore. Low carb contradicts with low fat. So how do I know what foods I'm supposed to eat if I don't know how whatever I'm eating impacts my body? And so you're going to tell me to look at the research, but you might not know how to interpret the research to truly understand. Again, there's so much detailed information that I believe I need to get right in order to do this properly. And so when I'm faced with all of this, knowing that I don't have the background to figure it out by myself, I get scared and I might not start at all. Well, I want to let you know that I figured it out without being a mathematician and without having years and years of data and research analysis in my background. And the way that I did that was by focusing on the issue that I was actually living. I was having hip issues, so I had inflammation in my joints. Eventually I figured that out. But that's it. I needed to figure out what's the problem that I was trying to solve, what was being suggested as a solution, and then I used that information to determine how would I move forward. So I chose the diet that promised to solve my inflammation issues. Now, maybe you're luckier than I am, and you're starting from a position that you're already, or you're still healthy. Like you don't have weight to lose, you don't have any pains, you feel good, but you want to future-proof yourself. And if you're starting there, I'm again going to say, do your research. What is it that you're trying? So if you're trying to accomplish longevity, if you're trying to accomplish that you stay at a healthy weight and that you keep your body metabolically healthy, metabolically healthy, do your research. I will encourage you to click around on my channel because I do explain why I chose keto to solve my problems. But my problems are different because I actually had them, and you're starting from a metabolically healthy place. And now that you've chosen your diet, the next hurdle that you're going to have is that the people around you in your daily life are going to act like if your food choices, your healthy way of eating is a burden to them. It's just getting in the way of them living their normal life. Honestly, I was shocked by this one because, well, first of all, I was eating healthier than I'd ever eaten in my entire life, because I can tell you with a straight face that throughout my adulthood, vegetables were not something that made it to my plate very often. And now here I was eating all these healthy vegetables, and I was getting looks and scorn and like, why don't I just eat normally like everybody else? And it was strange to me because my weight had regulated. I was feeling better than I'd ever felt in a long time. I told them that, look, my joint pain's gone. Yet somehow the fact that if I come to your place, you have to cook a little differently was more of an annoyance than the fact that I was feeling good. Me not eating rice, pasta, potatoes, and cake was ruining everybody else's fun. And this is the second problem that you're going to run into. Your success is going to remind people that they're not doing what they need to do for their own health. And they're going to get mad at you because the healthier I was eating, the more I was putting in their face that they weren't eating healthy. Even though I wasn't trying to. They're just looking at what was on my plate, looking at... Now, let me add to that. Because what was on my plate historically was seen as the not healthy food. So there's another element of this where there's a bit of jealousy that I get to eat the fried chicken and still look healthier than I looked 2 years ago. I get to eat pork chops and eat the fat and steaks and all the things that I get to eat that you can't eat because you're on a low fat diet. And there's also the part where I'm at the party having fun, enjoying myself without drinking, without overindulging in any of the junk food that's on the table. And you're looking at me and you can't understand how I can do that. And it makes you feel bad. Wellness warrior. There's this myth in our world that says that it's impossible for someone to eat healthy all the time. And so when you're doing it, they have a hard time to believe you're doing it. And they constantly try to put temptation in your face and like, oh, you're not going to have some of grandma's cookies. You're not going to have some of this delicious cake. And you've lost weight and they can't understand how it is that you're not struggling in a corner, upset about eating a salad when everybody else is having party food. Right? Like nobody could understand why I wasn't having my favorite ice cream cake, or even more so that I wasn't going for seconds. I didn't even have firsts. It didn't make sense because I was willing to do something that they weren't. Wellness warrior, are you committed enough to eat healthy that you're going to be able to withstand the comments, the looks, right? Because you're ruining the party. Can I just tell you that I really did think before I did any of this that it would be harder to say yes to that I would be able to withstand those taunts of eat some cake or have some ice cream. What's wrong with you? I didn't think I would be able to do it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. You see, we've been brainwashed to believe that living at a healthy weight equals restrictive eating, excessive exercise, and of course, depriving ourselves of fun food. Now, my question to you is, do you enjoy being fat? Do you enjoy being in pain? Do you enjoy taking medications? Now, I know that I hated being fat. I hated being in pain. I'd been in pain since I was 23 years old-ish, and I'd been fat since I was about 33 years old. And I'll be honest with you, I was done with that. I was ready to move on from that story. But here's what's weird. I didn't work out like a crazy person to lose weight. I didn't eat fewer calories. Actually ate more. And I've been eating more since I started eating healthy. And still I lost weight. Not only did I lose weight, I lost so much. I lost 70 pounds and got down to my normal weight in 5 months. And I've been at my normal weight ever since. 5.5 years. I've been living like this. Now, I got rid of my pain, which was the reason I started this diet, within 3 months. And I've been pain-free for 5 years. Can I just say that cake does not compare? Can I just say ice cream does not compare? Pain-free. And that's without going to the gym. That's without calorie restriction. When you commit to a process, you need to follow through. Wellness warrior, are you strong enough? Are you committed enough to your health that you're going to eat the healthy food no matter what temptation is in front of you? But honestly, when you eat off plan, who are you blaming? I've seen so many times where people eat some cake because they don't want to insult the person who baked the cake, or they'll blame the restaurant for not having healthier options. But honest warrior, we need to be honest with ourselves. I'm the one putting the food in my mouth when I eat off plan. And at some point, I need to accept that if I want to be healthy, then I need to treat my body with respect and give it what it needs to build itself. Each and every food that you eat becomes a part of you because the food you eat is the building block of their body. We think that because we are adults that, oh, my body is static. No, your body is constantly repairing, rebuilding itself. And if you don't understand that, then you allow yourself to build a body on cookies, chips, ice cream, garbage foods that are not helping you to accomplish the I want to be healthy goal that you're saying that you have. We can't see that the cake I just ate is building maybe skin or some internal organs. But if you could, and you saw that it didn't quite look right, the way that it was being built on this processed food, would you still eat the garbage? If you're anything like me, you wouldn't. Because I can tell you that when I eat off plan, my joints hurt. And you're going to say, okay, Violet, that's obvious. If your joints hurt, of course you're not going to eat off plan. I can also tell you that when I eat like the wrong kind of oils, my skin doesn't feel great and it gets ashy and whatever. Oh, again, Violet, that's so obvious. Of course you want your skin to look good. That's external. Okay. But can I point out that the only reason that I know that is because I had to do the hard work of looking at, why did the pain come back? And I had to go back and search through all the foods that I was eating to figure out what food was it that caused that problem. Or my skin changes and I have to go through the hard process of looking at my foods and figure out what food did I eat that changed the way my skin is feeling. It's not simple to figure that stuff out. It took work to do, but I did it because I'm that committed to being healthy. And if my skin isn't being built properly, that's telling me something. If my body can't build skin on the outside, can it build properly on the inside, Wellness Warrior? What I'm really asking you, Wellness Warrior, is are you willing to invest the time, energy, brain power, and money that you will need to invest to be healthy? Because yes, I do buy a lot of meat. People say that certain places it's really expensive to buy meat. I buy it anyways. Now, does it save me money in the long run? Of course it does, because I'm not buying the garbage foods, first of all. But second of all, I'm not wasting money on chiropractic appointments that I was having anywhere from 1 to 4 times a month, medications for pain and management, etc. I'm not wasting money visiting my doctor for all these ailments that I'm trying to solve because I feel better and life is better when I eat healthier. We want to think that we're going to be able to eat a meal and our weight is just going to regulate itself and all of our health issues will resolve magically, but it doesn't work like that. When you're faced with challenges, are you going to commit to overcoming those challenges and finding the answers? When you make mistakes, are you going to work really hard to figure out how you made that mistake and how to fix it to make sure that it doesn't happen again in the future? When you're being tempted, are you going to eat healthy anyway? You're the only person that knows the answer to these questions that I'm asking you today, Wellness Warrior. And I want to put it to you that the answer lies in why you're watching this video in the first place. If you're in the situation that I was in pain, overweight, and searching for answers, many people would see that as tragic. But I can tell you that it was the best time in my life for me to have found my answer, because living through pain, and maybe it could have lasted less time, it could have been 5 years instead of 23, but living through pain, knowing what pain feels like daily, and then getting the relief that I've gotten, I would never trade this. I would not go back. That was the best place for me to be when I started my keto lifestyle. The fact that my pain was at a level that I couldn't ignore any longer, that put me in the position where I really needed to find a solution, a final solution that I could walk forward with forever, confident that I wouldn't be hurting all the time. And I was shocked to know that there was an answer that was this simple, but yet difficult. But can I just tell you that 5.5 years later, as I'm sitting here in front of you, still feeling great, still at my healthy weight, knowing that I'm cleaning up any medical issues that were brewing under the surface by continuing to eat this way, so giving my body what it needs to repair itself. I'm the happiest person that I could ever be, and I know that I'm healthier than most people walking around this planet right now. But maybe you're not in my situation. Maybe you're not feeling sick right now. But you might have children and want to help them feel as good as they possibly can in their life trajectory. Because we've seen that, as I said at the beginning, 1 in 5 kids are obese. If you're obese, metabolic issues have already been brewing for how long? Because you are actually obese. We know that our kids follow our life example, not just what we say, right? It says kids do what we do, not what we say. So when we consider the fact that the average person has done 126 diets in their lifetime, what's that telling us about our desire to live life at a healthy weight? We want it, of course. But yet somehow we've been doing the standard things that they tell us to do, and it hasn't been working. Do I invest in my education to find out what will really work? Do I do my research? We fall victim to giving into peer pressure, and we end up having birthday cake for that coworker that we don't even care about because everybody else is doing it. We're constantly trying to avoid criticism, and so we hide the fact that we're on a diet and end up eating the cookies that grandma made for us. And of course, we resume eating normally after we've achieved our goal weight because the kids, well, they want to have Friday pizza night, right? But what about the fact that the foods you eat build the body that you will move forward in, and that these foods are damaging your body? These foods are contributing to your weight gain, contributing to your poor health, contributing to your pain, contributing to your need for medication, contributing to the problems that you've been living. To be healthier than 99% of people, you need to commit to your health, which means eating healthy food and doing that every single day, not just during the week. And most importantly, you actually need to commit to getting your cravings under control, because underneath all of this, and why people can tempt you with all of the garbage that they tempt you with, is because you don't have control of your cravings for junk food, fast food, and garbage. If you'd like to know how to eliminate your cravings, you want to watch these videos next. So click on the link and I'm going to meet you over there. For those of you who've made it to the end of this video, I'm really curious, which of the 5 tips was the one that you feel impacts you the most? Share that down below.